NZ Aerosports, Icarus Canopies, now Gyro. That's right, we've rebranded, and Gyro is our next generation. It honours our founder, as that's the name we knew him by, but Gyro also marks the start of a new chapter. And not to be biased, but it's going to be fucking epic. Long story short, we're more us than ever. So if you're new to the sport, or even a Sky God Ninja Turtle, welcome. I think our valiant leader Lucy, Gyro's daughter, says it best.
And we still got that fuck yeah attitude. Rebrand! Woo!
Rebrand woo indeed, Lucy. Anyway, head over to gyro.com for more info and get amongst you legends.
I was 19, broke, unemployed, and sold my girlfriend's canopy for drug money. So I thought I better sew her a new one. What a sentence, and what a story. This describes the humble yet outrageous beginnings of NZ Aerosports, the home of Icarus Canopies, in the words of our founder himself. From getting a paratrooper toy from his mom, watching parachutes at the DZ as a 6-year-old, jumping off the wharf with a parachute made from bed sheets, doing his first jump at 16, sewing his first canopy on a borrowed machine at 19, and starting to sell parachutes out of a garage in 1986, Paul Gyro Martin had an undying love for the sky. Our company started with one man with the wildest of spirits and a true blue sky dream, a renegade. In the time that Gyro created and ran the Icarus Canopies brand until he passed away in 2017, he pushed everything he had to its limits. We miss him, and we always will. Gyro is the next generation of NZ Aerosports. It honors our founder, of course, because it was the name we all knew him by, but Gyro the rebrand also marks the start of a new chapter, our next jump. Gyro is the space between sound and silence, art and science, chaos and calm. Gyro is a state of epic tranquility that transcends understanding. That moment, in the door, in free fall, mid-swoop, where nothing but the present exists. A perfect balance of euphoria and thrill. Gyro captures our passion for flying and our commitment to designing break-the-fucking-rules canopies that deliver pilots pure, wild flight. Hey gang, so I got a new book out. It's called The Upside of Fear, and it's exactly what you think it's about. It's about the good side of, well, getting scared. In it, we talk not only about the science and biology behind fear, but the psychology as well. And it's not just coming from me, it's coming from some of the best in the sport. Omar Alhigelan, Jeff Provenzano, Maxine Tate, and so many more have contributed their sometimes terrifying stories to the book to help you overcome your fear. So head to the lunaticfringepodcast.com. You're going to find the link to the book there, as well as the other books. It's available in ebook, paperback, hardback, and audiobook right now.
Coming straight from the cockpit, it's another episode of Lunatic Fringe with the fucking pilot.
Ready, set, go. All right, back in the can for another edition of Lunatic Fringe Into the Void. And I've got an old friend that I haven't had a chance to catch up to in quite some time that has done some ridiculously badass stuff in the sport. And I know you're going to enjoy hearing from him. So tell me, who the fuck are you and what do you do?
Hey, what's up, buddy? Ernesto Gainza here. I'm a professional skydiver.
Ernesto!
Yeah. Just living the life, buddy. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing excellent, man. How the hell you been? It's been quite a while. I know you've been doing all kinds of crazy stuff, but have you been good?
Yeah, I mean, life has been really generous as I'm still breathing and, walking and doing my normal stuff. So, yeah.
Right? Yeah, well, I like that you said walking. That's always a perk, being able to walk in a straight line if you've been jumping as many years as you have. Still walking and walking straight's good, man. Well, hey, let's just jump right into it because I got a bunch of stuff I'd like to know and get a bunch of info about you that I don't necessarily have. So obviously we're going to be talking a lot about skydiving, but specifically, where did you get started with the whole extreme sports thing? Because I know you personally as being someone that really likes to push the limits, but do it in a very calculated way. So were extreme sports something that was natural to you, or was it something that you kind of found your way to?
I think, we all have this little Superman, these little things that we want to do when we're kids, and jumping out of a wardrobe and all this crazy stuff. But I think I'm not really an extreme person. I think I do enjoy extreme sports because it gives you the chance to to do things outside and have this little fear and adrenaline rush and stuff. But I like to live a long life as well.
Sure.
So I try to calculate everything I do without losing that fun fact that we all have when we do things like this. But it's also age. I'm 41 years old, and if I break right now, it's not going to be the same healing. So
sure, yeah, absolutely. Well, now, so if you were always pretty metered and pretty big on gauging risk and stuff, how did you find your way into something like skydiving? Because for people that haven't jumped, or if they don't know anything about the sport, from an outside perspective, we look like idiots.
Yeah, I think we're a little bit. I mean, I kind of accepted the fact that this is my way of living. So
right.
So yeah, actually, I discovered skydiving by mistake. I used to surf for many years back home in Venezuela. Obviously, we had really good waves there, being in the Caribbean Sea and getting all the storms and things coming from the US. Thank you very much.
Sure. Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, so we used to get a good wave. So anyways, I used to surf a lot, and then a friend of mine told me once, he said, "Hey dude, I've tried skydiving." And I was like, "Yeah, so how was it?" So, "Well, no, I did a tandem, and then I did the course right away."
Wow.
And for me, it was like, yeah, whatever. For me, it was like, yeah, I'm not really interested. I never thought about skydiving in my life.
Right.
And then at the end of the holidays, I had like $500 left, and I said, "Okay, well, I really would like to jump." And the guy said, "Well, why don't you do the AFF course?" And one of my friends was also an instructor. So yeah, the whole thing just turned out to be an amazing AFF course with a great experience, and that was it. That was the time in which I knew that's what I wanted to do.
Did you so you didn't do a tandem? You went straight into AFF?
Yes, that's correct, yeah.
Nice. I mean, most of the jumpers, from my generation and beyond were all, tandem passengers, or quite a few were tandem passengers first and then got hooked.
Yeah, for sure. That is the way that you're supposed to do it if you're smart.
So you started jumping in Venezuela?
Yes, I did.
And now, what's the sport like there? I mean, I've never jumped in Venezuela. I don't know about the federation there or the popularity of it.
Sure. I mean, we used to have two schools, one in San Juan de los Moros, which was the oldest school of skydiving in Venezuela, which remained open for many years. And there's been a few schools here and there, but then they end up closing as usual. And then I think skydiving was great. Like it was more like a family thing more than a big drop zone like in the US or any other countries.
Sure.
But I think now, due to the situation of the country, is just a few people that can actually afford to jump out of a plane.
Yeah, I mean, Venezuela is going through rough times these days, yeah?
It is, yeah. It's a shame.
Ah, man. Well, now, so when you were coming up skydiving, I'm guessing even then skydiving in Venezuela was probably a bit of a luxury.
Yeah, I mean, back then when I started skydiving, it was still good prices and stuff like this. You could jump and have fun, but then obviously things have changed a lot since 2004. So
yeah, no, that's a fair amount of time, and things are changing all over the place. Well, so you went through your AFF course right then and into a bit of a family drop zone. But what did your family think of you jumping? Mom and dad, brothers, sisters, how did they feel? Right,
it was really funny because nobody said anything. They were like, "All right, cool. If that's what you want to do, awesome." And my mom was very supportive, and she has always been. Like, if that's what you want to do and that makes you happy, then go for it. So
really,
yeah, it was that easy.
That actually kind of, I'm not sure why I'm surprised, but I wouldn't have thought that a mother from Venezuela would be okay with her little boy going out and throwing himself out of airplanes. I would have, wow, that's very cool.
Yeah, I know. It's my mom was great. My sister was great as well. My aunts and everybody was like, "Yeah, cool. I mean, this guy's crazy." But then nobody said anything, or, why would you leave a stable job for this? Or no, they were super cool.
Sure. So, well, now you go through your AFF course, but at what point? What was the point of no return for you? Where, what clinched that you were a skydiver?
I think right after the first jump. I think once that parachute opened. I realized that I wanted to live that emotion many more times in my life, what I just lived, being in free fall and, doing the things that you're supposed to be doing and having fun. And
Well, and you always, again, you struck me as always a very calculated person, but always a very passionate person too. I mean, there was never, at least from my vantage point, there was never any doubt that you truly loved what it was you were doing.
Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest problems right now. We live in a society that you've been pushed to get what they call successful. You have to be successful. What is success? If your measurement of success is to have nice cars and nice houses and have a ton of money in the bank, then great. I mean, if that makes you happy, then go for it.
Sure.
For me, it's just living in a mountain town, surrounded by nature and flying every morning with my paraglider and my speed wing and skydive, and that's my life.
Nice. Well, and I suppose we live in some weird times, especially now as we're recording this. I think the whole world is starting to reevaluate what's important and what makes them happy. Because
exactly.
the people that are stinking filthy rich are locked up in their houses just like we are, even though theirs might be a little bit bigger. The money that's sitting in their bank account not necessarily doing them any good. So
they still have the chef cooking for them though. I wish I had that.
Yeah. Well, the whole I've always been of two minds about that whole adage, money can't buy happiness, or I don't know about that. I'm sure it could put a dent in it. I mean, fundamentally, it's not going to make you happy, but it'll sure make shit a little bit easier.
For sure. No, the thing is, you're a good cook. You say, I don't cook really well. So
fair enough.
For me, when you say a chef, it's like, wow, like giving me a sports car or something like this. A chef is like, wow.
Yeah, for sure. Well, so now when did you became, obviously like we all do, you started out through AFF and became an active jumper, but when did you transition into working in the sport, and what were you doing for work before then?
Right. So I was basically I was a lawyer. So that was my profession, my career. However, I didn't actually do much lawyer work. I used to work in insurance back then.
Okay.
And then after I discovered skydiving, I moved to the UK, which it helped me a little bit to develop the career. In Venezuela, I didn't jump that much. Obviously, in the UK, these guys don't have the best weather ever either. But then at least I had the aircrafts and
right.
And then that was it for me.
They at least
UK,
had
a little bit in France.
They at least had the lift capacity
France,
to get you to the base
Spain,
of the clouds.
Venezuela. Yeah.
Well, now Spain's quite popular, though. I mean, especially nowadays with drop zones like Empuria Brava. But so you started hitting Spain around when?
So I left Venezuela in 2002. Became a skydiver in 2003. I started working in skydiving in 2004.
Wow.
And then, I started doing packing, obviously packing parachutes, doing camera work for tandems and formation skydiving, and every little thing that you have to do in order to survive in skydiving, which is, we all know how it goes.
Right, yeah.
And that's it.
Well, now you had said that you did insurance and you worked as an attorney. I've been consistently blown away by every guest that I've had on. I always find out a little something that I never knew before. One of my recent previous guests that has either aired by now or it will be airing soon. I know her as a tandem instructor and a camera woman, and it turns out she's got a fucking PhD. Blows me away. And I'm,
hey, you see?
Oh yeah, I'm consistently just blown away because skydivers are so alike on the drop zone in regard to our drive to want to jump out of the airplane.
I know.
And that story is always the same, but the backgrounds are crazy. Now, this actually even shocks me more that you say your family didn't say anything when you were giving up a lucrative career working in insurance and as an attorney.
I think my mom's always been super cool. I have to say that I feel privileged, the fact that my mom has always been like this cool with anything that I've decided to do in my life.
Right.
And I think parents, or guardians or whatever you want to call them, they have a really fundamental job in a kid's life. If you're supportive, and as long as it's something that that makes sense.
Sure.
Well, it's not that skydiving makes much sense. Sorry. But yeah, I think that's very important.
Well, I'm still, and I'm sure you're a bit like me, I still shake my head and I can't figure out how it is I've managed to actually earn a living in this sport. You know, I mean, how many times have you had someone, you tell them you're a professional skydiver and they always are like, how the fuck do you make money doing that?
Pretty much. I think everybody, I tell them that I'm a professional skydiver, they don't really understand what that actually means.
Right.
You know, it's very difficult to explain. So,
Well,
yeah.
Then again, to play devil's advocate, I kind of don't disagree with them, because if you ask me how a skydiver, what that is, I can't answer, because basically somebody gives me money and I do stuff that I would more than likely pay for if they didn't.
Pretty much, exactly.
Right? I'd say that's just, but I probably shouldn't have said that, because the wrong person's going to
Yeah.
overhear.
Yeah. Stop advertising, baby.
Right? Yeah, no shit. So now, what was the big catch in skydiving for you? I mean, obviously, there's so many different facets to it. What attracted you the most right away? Like, in the sport, what were you like, all right, fuck, I got to do that?
Right. I think from the very beginning, like skydiving itself, the sense of not being able to think on anything else but what your senses are telling you. I think that's the most amazing thing about skydiving, you know.
Yeah.
And then in terms of disciplines, I love a little bit of everything. You know, I did a little bit of formation skydiving and free fly and wingsuit flying, and I also do a little bit of base jumping and, you know, the activities. I think right now I'm not a very talented person. I'm a hardworking person, so I'm not a person that's going to do something right away. So I have to work very hard. And wingsuiting for me has been my biggest challenging activity lately.
Wow.
So yeah.
Well, skydiving is an interesting sport in regard to that, because you don't necessarily have to have a naturally athletic person or a naturally easily talented person to end up having an amazing skydiver.
Thank you for that. Yeah. I knew you. Yeah, I knew you were going to go that way.
It's true.
It's fine.
It's true. The mentality.
You're calling me unfit.
No, not at all. Actually, I happen to know you're quite fit. But if you say not talented automatically, the fact that you've got the mentality that allows you to put in the hard work with something you know you're struggling with is exactly the key to being a really good skydiver. Because let's face it, this entire sport is very unnatural.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
One of the funny things, I just became recently a tunnel instructor, wind tunnel instructor.
Nice.
Which is, yeah, thanks. So it's very challenging for a person my size, because I'm quite, small. I'm 56 kilos right now, and it's challenging. And when they asked me, "What are you doing here? What would you like to do this course for?" And I said, "Well, I really would like to keep learning."
Sure.
And people say to me, "Well, normally the people would pay money to be coached to become a good flyer. Why would you like to learn how to teach people how to fly?" And I think if you understand the basics for a person like me that is not talented, I'll be able to fly better and to teach better.
Sure. Well, and I'm sure you'll agree, especially if you've just gone through this course. But you are, you've hit every facet of skydiving as well. And the act of teaching a student makes you learn more about what you're teaching. I've never learned more about our sport than when I'm having to dissect what we do and spoon feed it to a student that's not getting it. Those are the biggest learning experiences for me,
Absolutely.
Well, especially in something like the wind tunnel, when you have the opportunity to break down to into basics every single step of what's going on. I mean, how hard was the course to become an instructor?
I have to say, I have to give credit to my examiner. He was really patient. It actually took me, it was only me. Normally these courses are run with, 5-6 candidates, and this time was only me. I wanted to do it, so I went to Madrid, and the guys at Madrid Fly just gave me a hand and helped me a lot. And it took me around 20-something days.
Okay.
Because obviously it was only me, and, I was taking it a little bit at a time. And,
sure.
Yeah.
Well, now, why don't you give him a plug? What's the tunnel, and who was the instructor you worked with?
Oh, shall I?
Yeah, absolutely. Spread the love.
No. My examiner was Mr. O'Rafferty, which is one of the toughest examiners of wind tunnel in the world.
Nice.
So he didn't put it easy, and he said, now, because of obviously who you are, I'm gonna expect more from you, which
doesn't that suck?
So yeah. Yeah, but yeah, you know what? At the end of the course, I was really fit. I looked like a I don't know, like a midget model or something like this, like all ripped and stuff. Because it's very physical. It's really physical.
Oh yeah, man. I mean,
So whenever you see a girl in the tunnel, man, you have to say chapeau because it's I was struggling, man.
oh yeah. Oh no, it's hard work. Well, and again, you already mentioned your size, being as light as you are in the tunnel. If you were to take somebody like me, that's 90 to roughly 90 kg, and I don't know what the fuck I'm
Yeah,
doing,
for sure.
you're gonna work for every bit of it because you can free
Pretty
fly
much.
at
You
my
say
belly speeds.
pretty much, yeah. So listen, you say 90 kg?
Yeah, I'm about 90 kg, 87 to 90 kg.
Yeah, you tell me that after the crisis happens. It's gonna be a
Yeah, right. Well, I don't know. Right now,
100.
the house arrest the quarantining is just making me fat because all I'm doing is sitting
Yeah, I
and
know.
eating,
We all,
man.
we all there, buddy. Don't worry.
Well, yeah, it's heavily stocked on wine. Although I don't touch a glass of wine until at least noon, so I figure I'm good so far. And I make sure and work
That's
out.
awesome.
I have to do some kind of exercise to earn the wine that I'm going to drink too much of. So, So yeah, in regard to the tunnel, it's
Good,
kind of funny. It's
good.
definitely hard work and it'll get you in shape. My first job in the sport was in the old Las Vegas tunnel, and I beat the shit out of myself in that tunnel for a couple of
Wow.
years, and it will keep you healthy. There's no doubt about that.
Oh yeah,
So now, as
absolutely.
with your instructor rating in the tunnel, does this mean that you can go to any of the tunnels and now offer coaching or instruct?
Well, basically, I just got the basic rating, which is a spotter A, which is basically a person that teaches people or takes the first timers that go to the wind tunnel how to fly. So I think that's the toughest rating to get because basically you do get the people that don't know how to fly, and it's a
Right.
lot of physical effort,
Sure.
especially for a person like me. So I have to use a lot of technique to work the least as possible.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I can. Basically, there's a few wind tunnels, plenty wind tunnels in Europe and in the world that accept the kind of rating that I did, which is tunnelinstructor.org. And yeah, so hopefully, if somebody needs a spotter A and is looking to have me there, I'll be more than happy to go around and have fun with people and
You see, there you
suffer and
go.
get fit again.
Well, see, and your name might have made the course a little bit more difficult for you to get through, but your name is also what's going to get you those students, because there's a lot of people that have followed some of the stuff that you've done, which is super fucking cool. I mean, I was there for one of the world records that you got.
Thank you, buddy.
Yeah, man. I mean, that was a real accomplishment, and I don't want, for anybody that doesn't know, please tell them what that particular record was and what led you to head to try and get this momentous thing.
Sure. So yeah, in 2007, I think Luigi Cani, he was flying very small parachutes. I think he was trying to set his first record back then, flying the world's smallest parachute, and I think he really motivated me to fly small parachutes, and I developed my career towards canopy piloting, which is small and fast parachutes.
Sure.
And then in 2014, I was given the chance to actually develop the record to fly with the world's smallest and fastest parachute. And it's really funny because now it's going to be on the 4th or the 5th of April coming. It's going to be 5 or 6 years. I don't remember. It was in 2014.
Jesus, was it really that long ago?
Yeah. It's a lot of years already, man. I'm getting old. So yeah, now I heard I got a message from Luigi. He's trying to beat the record to get it back home to Brazil.
Right.
So he's currently training now with a very small parachute, and I really hope that he obviously succeed in his attempt to get the record back, and
See, I'll tell you
I
what.
think that's a beautiful thing.
You highlight
the
one of the
sport.
coolest things about skydiving, and that is that in at least every other sport that I personally know of, no fucking way is one athlete rooting for someone else to beat their record or take their achievement. And here you are.
Right. I tell you why. When you're a ski jumper, for example, right, is a repetitive task, right? You have to, get in the position, jump out, use ballistic aerodynamics, and it's the same thing, and you work towards improving your launch or your flight or your landing and all these kind of things.
Right.
When we do projects in skydiving, you have to understand that you're going through a unique experience that only you or perhaps a bunch of people know how it feels. And the second thing is that you have to understand is that if you love the sport and you want the sport to grow, you have to let things go.
Sure.
My record was set, I don't know, 5-6 years ago, and I wish Luigi now breaks mine and somebody else comes and breaks his. I think that's
Right.
that's the way it should be done.
For those that don't know about the actual jump, what eventually was the record? What is the record? Because it still stands.
Yeah, still. So basically, I flew and landed the world's smallest and fastest parachute.
And how many square feet?
That was a JVX 35 square feet. We were gonna go, eventually we're gonna go with 33, but then I said, well, I think I should keep it a little bit conservative and play a little bit with this first and see if I can go to 33. And then I try with 35 and I say, no, thank you very much. I stay with this one.
The 35 was your conservative choice. Fucking hell. Well, now, and you correct me if I'm wrong with my history, but you and Luigi actually have kind of played tag around this very, very specific goal because when you initially started training to do this, weren't you jumping his older canopies?
Yes. Yeah. So basically, is Luigi and I, we had a really good relationship from the beginning. I always admired him as a canopy pilot. I think, he was I would say my person to watch because he was very small like me, a little bit heavier, but the same build. And I needed to see his technique. He was a very good competitor back in the day. And, I follow a lot his work. And then basically I asked him, I said, hey, I would like to do this. And he was also an amazing person. He said, hey, buddy, no worries. I have these canopies. I'll send them to you. He sent them to me. And and once after he started now training for the new record, he asked me, hey, what would you change? What would you do different? And what is your opinion? So I think it was a beautiful relationship having somebody that it was kind of like my hero calling me to ask me for advice and to tell me, what do you think about this if we change this and we do that. I think that was great.
Which is epic. I mean, you're talking about flying a parachute that is literally 1/3 of what I fly. And what I fly for the majority of skydivers out there is a small fucking parachute. So I don't think a lot, especially newer jumpers, can't wrap their head around just how small a 35 square foot canopy is. I mean...
Right. I think we...
Go ahead.
We normally compare with a single bed sheet, similar size. I mean, I think it's a little bit smaller than a single bed sheet, but somewhere
so
there.
At some point, did you not just stand back and look at this canopy and go, I'm fucking insane?
The funny thing is, when you see the canopy, when the canopies were shipped by New Zealand Aerosports in a normal envelope, like a very tiny envelope. So I would not believe that this thing was my parachute. So when they sent me the envelope, I was like, oh, perhaps they're sending some spare lines or something like this,
Right.
And when I opened it, it was actually the canopy. They vacuum, put the thing in a bag, and anyways.
Now,
So I put it on the floor, right? I extended it on the floor, and I said, well, yeah, it looks really small. But the thing is, it's not as small as when you have it on top of your head.
Oh, I bet.
When you look up and you go, holy crap, this is really small.
Yeah,
because
I would think.
on the ground you have no comparison point. Yeah, you see it very small, but once you look up and you go, crap, this is nothing.
Well, I mean, most skydivers are, when you look up suspended under your canopy, the majority of your view is canopy with a little bit of sky framing it. But jumping a 35 square foot canopy, the majority of your view would be blue.
Sorry, you're cutting.
Am I breaking up?
You were cutting up for a couple of seconds. Sorry.
Oh, no, it's all good. No, I was just saying that under a normal parachute, you look up and most of what you see is the parachute. But with yours, most of what you would see would be the sky.
Exactly. Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
That's just, I mean, well, let me ask. So when you started going down this road and you're training on these small canopies, but the one that you actually set the record with was custom made for you, yeah?
Sorry, you're cutting up again. Sorry, it's some bad connection.
Oh, it's all good.
I
It's all
didn't hear
good.
the last part.
I was just saying the canopy you actually set the record with was custom made for you, yeah?
Yeah, the actual record was made for you. I thought so. The 39 was Luigi, the 46 was Luigi, the 37 was Luigi's, and the 35 was built for me. Was mine.
Well, so now, when you're starting to go that small, you're obviously out of the normal design parameters for a canopy like that. So, were you getting blowback from NZ Aerosports, or were they like stoked to work on this with you?
I think they were and they weren't. I think they had my project in a very difficult or daunting time for their company because they were moving from one place to another, and they were kind of like. But as usual, these guys are awesome and helped a lot, and did a bunch of footage for our documentary, and anything that could have gone wrong, they corrected and fixed it before it actually became a problem. And
Sure.
these guys are awesome. Yeah.
Well, now, how did they get around? And you'll have to forgive my ignorance with a lot of the canopy stuff, but they'll design a canopy on a specific size. Like I think the Velocity was designed around I think a 96, and then they scale up or scale down for people. But it doesn't translate directly. So, I mean, how
Exactly.
you can't fucking test fly a 35 square foot canopy. I mean,
no, that's exactly that's the thing. So basically, what they did is they scale as much as they could, including the variation of my drag, my body drag. But what they discover is for a canopy that size, the pilot should measure 45 centimeters.
wow.
So the drag and the pitch of the canopy are in balance. So so they have to actually change the line trim and do a little modifications in the canopy and to make it more stable and to make it fly a little bit more predictable.
Sure. Well, and I was lucky enough to see a lot of this process that was happening as it was happening. But what did you find was the most challenging part of the entire experience?
I think physically you get really punished. The openings are quite hard. The way we exited the aircraft was not very common. We were exiting facing the tail of the aircraft. So because the canopy was being debagged from the aircraft, and I wanted to see that deployment process as I was exiting the aircraft, because I had a couple of seconds to decide whether I was going to keep the canopy or not. So if I had a malfunction, I had a maximum reaction time of 2.5 seconds. If I didn't react in 2.5 seconds due to any malfunctions and G-forces, I had to cut away right away.
Sure.
And if everything was fine, then you see your deployment, you ride it through with your hips, and you get your removable slider out of the way, and then release. Get comfortable, release the toggles, and off it goes.
Now, how many?
100 maximum speed, vertical 170 kilometers an hour, and horizontal I think it was 165, 167.
Wow. So you're basically going down as fast as you're going forward.
Pretty much, yeah. So like 35 kilometers an hour, less than free fall speed, yeah.
Jesus Christ. Now, how many times did you have to chop it? How many times you cut away?
The 35 itself, I think we chopped it 7 times.
Okay.
And landed it 2 times, which was the day of the record, and then the following day we did another jump. Yeah.
Now, the first few cutaways were intentional, though, were they not?
Yes. So basically, we were trying to check the flying envelope of the canopy to see, how much horizontal speed I had, how much glide ratio, how much glide I may have after a radical turn, what was the stall point on the rears, how many, how the canopy, because the problem with such a small sizes is they become really unstable on the roll axis. So any little movement that you do, that canopy turns, and after it turns, it dives. So I was also flying with some wingsuiters on the side, and it could become a little bit dangerous if I lean on the harness a little bit too much. I might hit them, or who knows. But it was a lot of fun.
Well, I mean, hell, in a canopy that small, I think you wiggle your big toe and you're going to turn.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's so I know there's a fair amount of people that listen to the podcast that are new to or relatively low time in the sport that have no experience under a high performance canopy, so they don't realize that literally just slightly leaning to one side or tweaking your hips left or right is how a lot of the high performance canopies are turned with no toggle. So I can't even begin to imagine the responsiveness of a 35 square foot canopy. That actually physically hurts me to say that.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really funny. I think in one of the jumps, I almost hit Greg Shelton. He was flying on my side, and I got really excited. I wanted to touch him, and then obviously I made the canopy. That sounded very inappropriate. I wanted to touch him. Anyways, I wanted to, duck on him, give him my hand, and I almost hit him.
Well, we're not judging.
In another occasion, I opened my visor, because I think I was breathing really nervous, and it got all fogged up.
Sure.
And of course, I was going 167 kilometers an hour horizontally. So when I opened the visor, I almost broke my neck.
God, that's
it's like opening the visor of a.
That's so crazy. Now there's a lot of people. If there's non-skydivers listening to the podcast, or again those low-time skydivers that are all they're thinking right now is, why in the fucking hell would you want to fly something like that? What was your motivation? I mean, what was your drive to be able to do something like that? Because let's face it, at the end of the day, there's not even that many skydivers that know about this record, let alone regular people. So you certainly didn't do it to get fame and fortune.
No, I think when I do my projects or personal records, I do it for myself. I don't really do it to show people what I'm capable of doing. I think, there's a lot of talented people out there nowadays that can do amazing stuff as well. I think I do it for myself. And I think it's, self-superation. You want to become better. You want to improve. You want to live experiences that nobody has never lived before.
Right.
And that's something that people say to me, yeah, I've done this, I've done that. And to me, the fact that it's only 3 people in the world, in the whole planet, out of 7-8 billion people, that knows exactly what it feels, how to fly the world's smallest parachute.
Sure.
That was Luigi Cani when he did it at the time. Jeff Provenzano when he was flying this tiny Chaos prototype that they were playing with, and myself.
Yeah.
So that's it. I think it's a great experience, and records are for me, and projects are for me, and if I can share it with people and people can learn from them, great. If I can share my knowledge to people to help them out to be the same record or something different, then I'm always willing to help, because I think that's part of my commitment to the sport.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, while we're still speaking about this particular record, you did a very lengthy, you were filming everything that was going on, and you ended up putting together a documentary about that. So how do people see this? Because we're clearly not touching all the bases of the information with this jump, and I know that there's a lot of people that would love to hear about it.
Sure. Well, the documentary has been online already for, I think, 3 years. We have it in different platforms, I think iTunes, Voodoo, Google, Microsoft, and I think Amazon is also there.
Nice.
The documentary is a little bit about everything, about the record itself and the technical things, about my life and the struggles of, everything that I had to go through to achieve the record. People would see the downsizing process. They will see my personal training. They will see everything. So,
nice.
Have a look, see if you like it, and if you do, just let me know, and make me really happy.
Nice. Now, what's the name of the documentary?
It's called Down to Earth.
Nice. That's a good one. I like that.
Down to Earth, yeah.
Yeah, I've actually seen it, and I quite enjoyed it, and I like the fact that you got very in-depth on a more personal level, and it wasn't just all drama for the sake of drama. It was very much exactly what you were doing to make this happen, which was super cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I wanted to, in most of the things, I don't want to, show people, that, oh, this guy is a hero, this guy is a superstar. I'm not, I struggle a lot. I cried a lot. I had a lot of pain. I suffer a lot psychologically. I got scared as hell. I'm a human being.
Sure.
And that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted to show people. What I went through,
And I think that's really important because I think one of the things that a lot of jumpers think that they have to portray is this this image that we're badasses and we think we're invincible. When I personally get scared shitless of the sport and what I do sometimes. And if it's not scared for myself, it's scared for my friends who are really pushing the limits. I've known you for quite some time, and when all that was going on, it's always in the back of your mind, ooh, I hope he's taken care. So you have that fear for someone else as well. And I think people think that they either have to portray this fearless image, or non-skydivers just assume that we are fearless. And that's couldn't be further from the truth. This shit gets scary.
Exactly. Absolutely.
And
I
think it's really important for people to realize that that's one of the reasons that I still consider skydiving to be such a safe sport, is because it's filled with people that are scared of what they do. And it should be, and it's
absolutely.
And I think there's also a big misconception about the difference between fear and panic, because people that don't jump naturally assume it's basically the same thing, and it's fucking not. Fear is what keeps me personally sharp and ready to handle what's coming at me. Panic is when you can't handle anything. Panic is the enemy, but fear is your friend.
Exactly. Absolutely. So, I completely agree with you.
Now, what other projects have you been pushing towards, both in the past and in the future? Have you got any other ones that really stand out? Or
I had a big project I was working on this year. Unfortunately, after the first episode that I was recording, the project got canceled. We still don't know why. I cannot mention too much in case it could happen in the future. But yeah, it was a really, really big project. Challenging, completely different to the world's smallest parachute. And I hope that I could develop in the future, whether for a TV network or for a personal I would say satisfaction, but that's pretty much it. Right now, I think I'm focusing a little bit more into my retirement, into investing what I have in a smart way. And I would not say try to retire from skydiving, but to find a plan B in which I can rely on later on when I become a little bit older.
And I think that's something that our generation, specifically in skydiving, really does need to keep in mind. I mean, you and I got into skydiving when we were pretty young. I'm 50 now, so this is typically the age when you're a businessman that you're thinking, oh, another 10, 15 years, I'm going to retire. But when you've been a skydiver or a jump pilot for as many years as you and I have, retirement doesn't exist. What the fuck is that?
Exactly.
So that's when we get to look and go,
yeah,
oh. So
I think for me it would be a little bit more enjoying. I always lived out of skydiving. That's I wish I would have fun jump a little bit more, or spend a little bit more of time inside the tunnel, learning a little bit more, becoming better. Unfortunately, money is essential for my life to pay the bills, and I'm married as well, so my wife, I just cannot go to a wind tunnel and spend 10,000 years when I have a wife. That is, for a normal person, what I call a normal person, is inconceivable that you spend 10,000 years in a wind tunnel, when that is the rent for the whole year.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I mean, let's face it, the average person can't conceive of how we live our lives regardless of the money. But when you throw that money into it as well, you tell them what an average skydiver, just a fun jumper, spends over the course of 5 or 10 years on jumping, and people would be horrified.
I think you can become a pilot pretty much.
Yeah. Oh God, yes. Oh, absolutely. And I think I was a lot like you. I started working in the sport very, very quickly in my career, and that's the only thing that kept me from spending pilot money on being a skydiver.
Exactly.
I spent all the pilot money on the planes, and I probably should have spent it on jumping. Actually, it's kind of funny. My flying career has been so unusual that it's actually kept me in the air when a lot of airlines and stuff were laying people off, and times with the airlines were difficult. The fact that I had a weird flying job is the only thing that saved me, which was fantastic.
But I think it's weird, believe it or not, people that have this kind of jobs that you can move from country to country, I think it's actually more flexible than even airline pilots.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. Well, and to be able to pick up and go to another place and be able to do the exact same job, basically with no training. All right, where's the drop zone? What are the winds
Pretty
doing?
much.
Let's go.
Exactly.
And it's nice to be at that point. Now, granted, it's a little bit different these days, regulations in a lot of places. It used to be if you were a jumper or a skydive pilot, it was all kind of barnstorming, under the radar kind of stuff. And now not so much anymore, but still, you're right. There's a lot of opportunities. And as a skydiver, you and I will never be out of work if we don't want to be.
Exactly.
Which is nice.
Exactly.
So looking down the road, if down the road is just you being a fun jumper, where do you take your career? Where does that go?
Well, I think I'm based now in Bovec in Slovenia, which I love. And now my wife is the new general manager of Skydive Bovec, which is great news.
Yes, absolutely.
So, yeah, I'm sure she's going to do a great job here in Bovec. And I opened my own school here. So I'm running the mountain swooping school. All the videos that you've seen around now, people flying the mountains, that is us.
Nice.
Mountainswooping.si is our website. It's under construction now.
Awesome.
So yeah, I mean, I'm flying the mountains. We're opening great lines. We're giving the people the chance to change a little bit. In skydiving, you start doing free flying, you get to a point in which you get bored, and then you try something different, and then you reach a point and I think mountain swooping right now is giving pretty much every single skydiver, regardless of the experience, that extra rush.
Sure.
That they get, obviously by flying close to a mountain.
Sure. Now, and you'll have to tell me a lot about this because I've never done it, and I've only, again, seen the video. So the terrain flying under the canopy, say I come to you as an experienced skydiver and I want to start doing that. How do you start me out, and what's the progression until I'm, flying with the big boys?
Sure. So basically, we divide all the camps in basic, intermediate, and advanced. The basic camp, most of our camps are 3 days. So we start on a Friday with a ground school. We explain you everything about the valley. We show you videos of the lines, videos of how we run it. And we categorize the lines also in different colors depending on the gradient and the inclination of the terrain. We have blue lines, we have orange lines, and we have red lines. And yeah, so basically we do a progression. The people come here, they get all the training that they need to do a safe fly in the mountains. We first take them to the blue lines, which are the easy ones, and they can get a little bit familiar to being close to an object and the mountain and technique, and they can compare and see how the rear riser inputs are doing and all the things related to the flight. And they see it, and they get more confident, and then we start taking them to more challenging and difficult lines with smaller landing areas as well.
Now, when you're getting started in something like that, is there a jump number that you've got to, do you have to have a certain license, certain jump number, and a certain specific type of canopy?
Sure. So basically, we did a lot of tests with different canopy sizes and shapes and crossbrace, non-crossbrace. And so basically, we decided to put it at 200 jumps. So that's going to be the minimum requirement. You need to have 200 jumps minimum and a B license to be able to participate in mountain swooping.
Okay.
And then from that on, obviously, we're going to do a first jump on top of the drop zone to measure the skills, to see how we're doing flying in a formation, because we have to fly in a very tight formation before entering the mountain. We want to be as close as possible, so we can, all land together and see where the other person is at all times.
Sure. That's got to be quite challenging too, to teach people this. Because the canopy side of things can be quite challenging for people.
Yeah, normally that's why we start also with the orientation jump in the drop zone, so we can, if somebody is not up to the task or is falling a little bit behind, then we help them out and explain what they're doing, and then we do a run. Normally what we do is we have a full load, which is a Pilatus Porter, 4 people plus guide. So one guide will go with 4 people and I will go with the other 4 people. And we basically, if we have people with really fast canopies, they will go with a guide that has a fast canopy. And if we have a group that is a little bit more intermediate or beginners, I will have myself a bigger canopy and I lead them with a small canopy as well. Nice. or a fast canopy.
Nice. Now, So I'm assuming that all these lines that you're flying are relatively close to the drop zone, no?
Well, yeah, we have currently we have 16 lines, and we're in the process of opening another 4. But they're pretty much the furthest one is 25 minutes drive from the drop zone.
Okay. Now, so I don't know anything about the airspace there. Are you having to get permission from an aviation authority to be able to fly these lines down the mountain? And how do you deal with, air traffic and all that stuff?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a challenge because we're very, very close to Triglav National Park, which is the biggest national park Slovenia has. And so we have to ask for permissions to extend the airspace. We have to fly certain mountains because the other ones are not allowed to fly because of the animals and the flowers and, the wildlife. So we have to respect that, which I'm completely happy that they let us fly all the mountains instead of the other ones in National Park.
Sure.
Basically, we have to pay the farmers every time we land in their properties. But everybody's been really excited. The farmers are really excited when you land on their backyards, and sometimes they clap on you. Like yes,
sure.
There's some celebration.
Well, it's so unique.
The vibe in the van going back from the landing area to the drop zone is just great. Everybody's so pumped up, and talking about the jump and the flight. So yeah, it's a really beautiful experience.
Nice. Now, so say you're out of the port or you pitch and you have a mal. If you end up getting stuck with a malfunction in a situation like that, you're flying over fucking mountains. So what happens? Are you guys using tracking systems on the canopies, or is that an idea just in case?
Sure. So basically, the way we work is like the guide always exit last. So you will have the first person, second, third, fourth, and then the guide will be the fifth. If there is a cutaway, what's going to happen, we have a tracking device on the risers that we can track the canopy. Okay. The person will go to the designated landing area without running the mountain at all. So a reserve ride is a reserve ride. And then we have communication with the guide and the pilot would locate the canopy roughly, and then we'll go and pick it up.
Okay, all right. So, I mean, it's a pretty decent system.
So we don't exit on top of the mountain itself. So basically, we go towards the mountain. If we have a problem, we are able to fix it because we have plenty of clear terrain. We have nothing basically. We exit on the valley and we move towards the mountain.
Okay, all right. So I mean, this is far from you're not just flicking it out and seeing what happens and going where you go. So, well, you never know.
At the beginning when we started mapping the lines and using devices to see everything, at the beginning was kind of like that. You had to jump out of the plane and and check the terrain and see how you're doing and find alternate landing areas in case you had to bail. That's a process that we had to follow to open the lines.
Well, and how much of a process, I mean, so when you first came up with the idea to go and do that, how hard was it to convince people outside of the drop zone to allow this to happen? And more importantly, how many times had you guys been doing this bandit before you actually got permission?
Sure. So basically, this product was kind of like developed 2 years ago. We did the first Tora Tora Boogie. We did the mountain swooping for them, and then obviously this year with all these problems that we're having with the COVID-19, it's going to be difficult to see what's going to happen with any skydiving operation. But right. We're going to do some events as well this year, and yeah, pretty much I think mountain swooping is I think it's becoming right now kind of the activity that everybody wants to do. We're receiving 100 of emails pretty much every week asking for mountain flying,
which
mountain
is awesome.
swooping.
I mean, that kind of stuff actually quite appeals to me, and I'm pretty damn mellow when it comes to the canopy stuff. I mean, my big day is a 270.
No, but the beautiful thing about the camps is like you have mountains that will allow you to fly close, but you always have an exit point. So you will have a wall on a side, and on the other side you have completely clear space. So if you feel that
epic. It's epic. Oh, by the way, I just had somebody stop by that actually wanted to ask you a question. He said something about when you were doing the smallest canopy in the world thing. And who the hell are you?
What's going on? I'm Junior.
Ernesto Jr. just stopped by to say hello.
Sorry, I can't hear anything, guys. What's that? Who is that?
Yeah,
it's me. It's Junior. What's going on, buddy?
Can you hear him?
Yo, Fatty. What's up, buddy?
What's going on, brother? How are you doing?
Good. Well, no fatty. Now you're fitter than me, man. You kind of grew up and became fit, huh?
No, he's fat.
No, I'm so fat.
How you doing, brother?
Good, buddy. How's life?
Well, I can't complain. I was telling the end that, I'm living in a paradise and a very chill and happy life and,
I know.
simple
I'm jealous.
stuff.
I get to see the photos of you guys, of you, rocking it out, some videos and stuff that you post up. Super jealous. Need to come out and see you guys soon.
Oh, man, that's awesome to hear you. And congratulations on your wedding. I mean, you got married on me like, hey, dude, I'm getting married. I don't know what's on the other side of the world. What the hell, man?
All right. Right.
Yeah, thanks you, man. It's been an adventure for sure. It's nothing that I expected. It's the best of the best, and every once in a while.
That's good, man. That's good.
You have some bad stuff go on.
Happy to hear.
Challenging.
It's challenging, yeah, but it's amazing at the same time.
So
I love my wife with everything I am.
Everything is challenging in life, buddy.
actually,
we know that. Huh?
you guys have something. It just dawned on me. One of the things that you guys have in common is you're both short fuckers that married really tall women.
Tall, beautiful women. Yeah, we got that in common.
Yeah. What do you think is that? What is it telling you, buddy?
I'm
Tell
telling
me.
you. Well, actually, ask Junior because he knows my girlfriend Victoria quite well, and she's taller than me. So, and I'm fine with it.
That's good.
I got no issue with
Yeah.
that. So, there's a lot of
No,
people
me
that don't
neither.
know that Junior did some work with you on the smallest canopy in the world thing.
Mm-hmm.
Shot
Yeah.
some-
So Junior was a little ninja, bro. Junior was, like the Swiss Army the toolkit. I don't know how you call it.
Swiss Army knife. Yeah.
Yeah, Swiss Army. Yeah, he was debagging, man. He was filming. He was collecting the canopy when I had a chop. He was massaging me. Junior was like,
I meant to ask, by the way. So you had said that you were doing the deployment facing the tail, but was the decision to deploy basically a direct bag? Was that so that you were still really subterminal, no acceleration at all?
Yeah, so basically the reason, ideally we should have used a helicopter and hover it and basically do the same process while the helicopter was in hover, so that the inflation of the canopy is really symmetrical.
It's so much easier.
And then we tried as well with the Twin Otter, and the speed was quite high, and and basically we went to the Porter because you can do as little as 45 knots and 50 knots sometimes, I think. And then basically facing the tail because I wanted all the time to see that deployment as it was happening. I wanted to know what was happening before. If I were to exit from a normal, belly to earth position, then the deployment will happen behind my back, and it will hinder my ability to see what's happening.
Sure.
So,
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and
less reaction time.
I can completely understand. And in a canopy that small, I mean, it's 0 to holy shit in a blink of an eye.
It really is. Watching
You
a couple of the cutaways that he
cutting
had,
up a little bit as well.
watching a couple of the cutaways that he had was pretty gnarly. Sitting inside the airplane, holding the D bag, and just going, "Oh God, what's going on?"
Oh, I bet. I mean, that had to be really weird for you too. Still sitting in the airplane and you're watching him going out, and there's not a damn thing you can do.
Yeah, I think on the when you cut away, I think you chopped the 35, didn't you?
A number of times he said.
Yeah, the one he cut away the 35 one of the times right out of the airplane, and man, it before you even knew it, he had gotten around 2 revolutions and he was above the canopy. It was incredible to see from inside and very scary.
Ooh, that must have been a whole lot of fun on your side, Ernesto.
Sorry, guys, I just lost you for a little bit there. There's a really poor connection, I think, on my side.
It's because everybody in the world is sitting in their homes fucking streaming Netflix or Pornhub.
I guess so.
Yeah, the whole country right now is either watching The Irishman or they're masturbating.
Junior said before, sorry guys, I was kind of like
all
caught
I
in
said
between.
was how scary it was from my side watching you when you chopped the one time you chopped 35 and you were literally above the canopy, and before we knew it, like the canopy was just starting to inflate and you had gone around 2 revolutions.
Whew, that's got to be a ride and a half.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, it's still cutting up a little bit. I'm sorry, guys. I can't hear much.
No, it's all good. Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to let you talk here. I want you to tell everybody if you can hear all the different ways that they can follow the projects that you've got going on, the drop zone that you're at now, and the mountain flying, and once again the name of your documentary and how they can watch it.
Right. So I'm in Wobec, Slovenia, not Slovakia, Slovenia, close to Italy. And you can follow me on Instagram. My username is at Ernesto Gainza. Facebook, and we're still working on the mountain swooping website, but it's going to be mountainswooping.si for Slovenia. And then you can find all the information. Also on the website of Skydive Bovec is going to be all the information about mountain swooping and all the services that these guys are going to start offering this year.
Oh, that's absolutely fantastic. I'll tell you, we'll save it for next time around since we've got a shitty connection this time, but I'm going to want to find out a lot more about the courses involved in doing the mountain swooping, and also find out about this other project that hopefully you said you had started and had to wait. Hopefully that's going to kick back in and you can tell us all about it.
I hope so. I hope so, buddy. I really hope so.
Well, Ernesto, thank you so much, man, for taking the time to sit down. And Juniors is the same thing. It's really good talking to you. I'm glad that things are going as well as they are, and I hope that everything keeps kicking in for you.
Thank you so much, guys. I really, really appreciate the chance of being kind of in the air, and just to tell all the young skydivers, man, keep dreaming. You're gonna have tough times in your skydiving career, but you can make it. Look at me. If you're a small guy from Venezuela, I'm here. You guys, you're gonna make it for sure.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You're a fucking rock star. You always have been.
Man,
thank you, buddy.
Love talking to you, even if it was just for a couple of seconds, man. It's always good to catch up.
Likewise, buddy. Come and visit, man. Come. If you want to get fat, come here. You're gonna get fat properly.
All right, done. We'll talk soon for sure.
All right, muchachos.
All right, love you, brother.
Likewise. Take care, guys. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Ciao.
All right. Hey, we're gonna keep going for just a couple of minutes, Junior, because it was unfortunately a shitty connection.
Yeah, it sucks. I really wanted to catch up with Ernesto a little bit more.
Yeah. No, well, and we had a really good conversation, but too many fuckers jacking off to Pornhub right now. They're screwing up the internet, so the connection was not great.
God,
but
damn coronavirus.
Right? There were a few questions that I wanted to ask him, and now specifically you, when you were doing the smallest canopy thing. I mean, fuck me. I got to watch from the outside, but you were part of that.
Yeah, it was an amazing opportunity, and being in a similar situation, pushing the boundaries on a special project and really doing something that nobody else has done when I did it with the world's largest flag, it makes me realize a lot about how much faith Ernesto had in me to help him out and to be in the spot that I was in, for not just helping him with the deployments of the canopy every time and holding the D-bag for him when he was jumping out, but also to follow behind him and be, pretty much right up his ass with a camera.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and it's people. I don't think a lot of people understand just what went into that in general. And then I've had people asking, well, but Junior was filming him, and I'm like, yeah. But Junior was filming him on a tried, true, and tested canopy, and he was wearing a ton of weights that accentuated the flight characteristics of his canopy, but they didn't change them in that respect. And Ernesto was flying an untested 35 square foot canopy. Fuck me.
Yeah, for sure. And he went back and forth to decide what the proper wing would be. I know he was talking with NZ Aerosports for a while to figure out what to build, because obviously the Petras were out, and that's what I was flying when I was following him. I was started on a 69 Petra, and I wound up going down to I think it was either 64 or 66, and I was loaded at about 4.0 to match up with him, and he was somewhere ridiculous. I think he was at 4.6 or 4.7.
Well, how much weight did you have on?
I had about 20 kg on at one point, just to be able to stay with him.
That's so stupid.
But anyway, I mean, it was an amazing project, and it was nice to see the professionalism from his side of things and how seriously he was taking it. He was training hard.
Yeah.
He went for the G-force training.
Well, I remember, again, watching it from the outside, I remember seeing him at one point when it was the business business hat was on, and you guys were taking care of something or briefing something, and I'm like, oh, holy shit, okay, now I get it, because it wasn't the normal skydiver joking around, shooting the shit kind of stuff. It was game on, game faces, no bullshit, super, super detail oriented, and I was really impressed with that.
Yeah, it was. We definitely had our fun. there was a lot of times of him running around in his underwear and joking around in the mornings, but just Ernesto being Ernesto he was joking around and having fun, and all of us were to a certain point. I mean, that's part of the fun of having this project is having these moments with your teammates where you can really just cut loose and have a blast. And
sure.
When it comes time and the gear up starts happening, the packing starts happening, we flip the switch and it goes to serious mode, and it's dangerous.
Yeah. Oh, fuck yeah. Well, especially when, again, it's unproven equipment. Like I was mentioning to him, or asking him, I should say, because I don't know that much about it, but I believe the Velocity was built around either a 96 or a 103. I think a 96.
I think it was a 96. It was the original. It was the 84, 96, or 103. I don't remember which one. I think it was the 96, though.
I think it was the 96 as well, was the size that they designed the canopy, and then you scale up or scale down.
Right.
But when you're scaling down from whatever they used that initially all the way down to a 35 square foot canopy, shit does not match. It's not just like you're shrinking it. You're not just reducing the size. You've got to change everything in the line set and the trims. And so Ernesto had to be the test pilot on every fucking jump.
Yep, every jump was a testing jump, and he had a lot of support from family, from friends, the drop zone. Everybody was standing behind him and trying to help him the best we could. And he had riggers helping out with little projects. Like he decided to put, after talking with the riggers in a meeting, the decision was to put the cutaway handle for it on the chest strap. So it was a center, because as the centrifugal force picks up, his hands would be going down to his side, and it would be easier to come down the front of his body and his chest and catch the cutaway handle on the way by, because at that point you've only got one shot at it.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I have unfortunately firsthand, well, not firsthand, I wasn't there, thankfully, but the owner of Skydive Tahoe, which was out of Minden Airport, actually went in under a perfectly good canopy and a spinner, but he was flying, I think the elevation there is something like, I want to say 7,000 or 8,000 feet above sea level, and he was flying a micro mini canopy and ended up in severe spin and couldn't get to his handles.
Well, Chris Martin from that was working with Precision Aerodynamics back in the day, they decided to build, I think it was either 27 Chaos 27 21 square foot, or was it 21 21? They never landed it. They were playing around with it, and I think he was in Arizona somewhere, possibly. I can't remember the location, but he went out, had a bit of a line twist, and G'd out and went in under it.
Yeah. No, so it was no joke. I mean, I remember people saying, well, yeah, but Ernesto's not that big a guy, so the smaller parachute. I'm like, no.
A 35's a 35.
Yeah, I'm like, no, fuck you. This is badass. This is ridiculous.
And that's the same thing. People are like, oh, man, but your wing loading was close to his. But it's a 35 square foot canopy.
Yeah, it's a 35 square foot canopy and untested. So
exactly.
Yeah, there's a reason it was only landed twice.
Yeah.
All right. On that note, cheers to Ernesto.
Cheers. Ernesto, it was good talking to you, buddy.
Ernesto, brother, was fantastic talking to you, and we will definitely catch up to you again. I want to talk a shitload more about this mountain flying. I had a bunch of questions, but we'll wait until people stop messing around.
Yeah.
All right.
Less porn.
Yeah, less porn. All right, but that's till later. At any rate, once again, this has been Lunatic Fringe Into the Void, brought to you by the greatest magazine in the known universe.
Blue Skies Magazine.
Fucking hell, Blue Skies Magazine. Go to blueskiesmag.com. That's where you can subscribe to the magazine. You can submit all your cool shit. You can buy previous issues and a whole bunch of really cool new stuff coming up as well. So check them out. For me, The Fucking Pilot on Facebook and thefuckingpilot.net to subscribe to this podcast on all its different platforms, wherever you get your podcast fix. And you can get both of the books that I've written. That's the Fucking Pilot book with Blue Skies and the Accidental Stripper. And I'm actually doing it. I'm recording the audiobook.
Bullshit.
I actually recorded an entire chapter this morning. I fucking hate it. It's miserable, but I'm doing it. It's getting out there. So soon enough, it's going to be print digital, and the Accidental Stripper will be in audio form as well.
Good, I can finally finish it then.
There you go. All right, guys, thanks again. We'll see you next time.
When it ends, yeah, what a life I live. Hands up, I existed. Wrong turns, long burns, lungs full of minutes. I wasn't gifted, born in a glitch of the timeline. Snatched one clean inhale, mine now. Saw things, wanted more. Asked the mirror for a bigger cut of now. Walked off bleeding. Woo! When it ends, what a life I live. Woo! When it ends, what a life I live. Yeah. When it ends, what a life I lived. Eyes on the sky, aimed at the fringe. Tasted every roll like I stole it. Aimed at a second, blinked and missed it. Flashbulb snap, cracked lens wisdom. Truth stutter, trip, laughed at I said you're real enough, kid. Don't ask why. Oh, when it ends, what a life I live. When it ends, what a life I live. When it ends, what a life I live. Chemical dreams yelling, you said what? I said who? Crowd noise, brain hot, laser light visions. Hillside brush fires, monster noises rolling like distant choirs. Low end thunder at the edge of sense, echoing a hasty deviation from the ever-flowing mainstream. We stomped the earth like it owed us green. Ran headlong, reckless, fast into snapshot memories that never last. Woo! When it ends, what a life I live. When it ends, what a life I live, yeah. When it ends, what a life I lived. Woo! Crossed roaring tracks, hung time mid-breath, brick walls bending Escher by way of death. Rattle can black, the world spun sideways, up but came down in a spray paint haze. Gravity laughed, we didn't argue, just leaned in hard till the spin broke through. Woo! When it ends, what a life they left behind. For the ones who hear soul shadows singing time, notes tasting like stone and sleepless nights. Nylonic alarms that still ring, clocks all wrong, sleep misplaced, forever feels short. When it's shared this long. White knuckle, the curve of a question mark. Tight right turn in the dark, all roads end in a period. Time still don't know if it's end of the line or just one spin in a sentence still writing itself out. When it ends, hands up, yeah, what a life. Breathe in, blink once, then it's gone, that's right. No map, no script, just sparks in the night. Say it loud, I was here, say it twice. Oh, wow, when it ends, what a life, what a stroke of raw luck. What a random smash of star stuff in time. That for one loud, stupid, beautiful moment knew I was alive and yelled back, what a fucking life.
Well, there you have it. Another episode of the Lunatic Fringe podcast brought to you as always by, well, wait, not as always, actually. Brought to you now by Gyro. Formerly known as NZ Aerosports, you'll head to gyro.com for their next level line of canopies. By Pussfoot, the Extreme Sports Collective. Head over to pussfoot.com to check it out. By Summit Parachute Systems, check out summitparachutesystems.com to talk to Jarrett Martin and the gang about kick-ass pilot rigs, rigging courses, and more. By Flyaway Indoor Skydiving, go to flyawaytn.com and check out all the cutting-edge stuff to come. By Pure Spectrum CBD, head to purespectrumcbd.com to check out their wide range of CBD products. And as for us, head to the lunaticfringepodcast.com to listen to any of the hundreds of episodes currently available, hit the link for our YouTube channel, pick up your copy of the Lunatic Fringe book or the Accidental Stripper, and get a sneak peek at upcoming guests. Once again, thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.
Disappear. Get on,